Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on where you're connecting from. I'm excited to be on this show today, making a difference every day with Sandra Uko. We have a special guest with us. Her name is Quay. But before we bring her on board, I'd like to just introduce what the show is all about. Today is October the 30th. This is about the last Monday in October. And but before we go on, I'd like to just enlighten you on what is making a difference every day show all about. It is a show where we bring men and women, great women and women who have been through trauma, who have been through zero level, who have gone through difficult moments in life and aspiring to be great people. And they are actually great on their journey to become successful and living a life of significance. We are all called to make a difference. We are a difference maker in our world. And so we have men and women who have been through that route so that we can glean, learn from them. We do not need to reinvent the wheel. We do not need to go into the same pitfalls or have the same issues they had in time past. We learn from them because experience is an asset that you can take from anyone. So their experience, we share and learn from their experience in order for us to ride on their wings and we can get to our destination much earlier than we ought to have, we ought to have been. And we have a guest with us who will be taking us in a deeper dive. She's a catalyst to motivating and collaborating with other people. But before I bring her on board, let me just introduce myself. My name is Sandra Uko. I'm a Maxwell Leadership Certified Team Member Coach, speaker, and trainer. A member of the Toastmaster as a Vice President, Public Relation, also a best-selling author, an IT sales lady of over 20 years in the sales industry. And just recently, I was gifted the Presidential Lifetime Award. And I'm excited to have our guest today. But before I bring her on board, let me just shoot one of our commercials. Thank you. So I'm excited to be on this show. Welcome, 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 our viewers, and thank you also our guests. Before I bring her on board, I'd just like to read about so you get to know who our guest is. We have a guest with us. Her name is Quay. She is a U.S. Naval veteran with veteran tenure in corporate America. Quay is an high energy certified speaker, trainer, and coach based in Las Vegas, Nevada, specializing in leveraging strengths to amplify success. Quay is the catalyst for improved collaboration, communication, and next level results. Quay's deep understanding of DISC, organizational dynamics, positive psychology, empowers individuals and teams to navigate complex challenges successfully. She's known for her contagious energy, insightful perspective, and ability to motivate. She somehow shifts obstacles into opportunities. So the next person you get to see is Quay herself. So great to have you, ma'am. Sorry, I don't know what's going on. Just a moment, please.
So great to have you, Mom.
Hi, thank you for
Had
having
a
me.
bit of technical issues, and I was like, "Oh, how do I get to her on the stage?" So I just said, "Well, let me just shoot one of the commercials rather than blanking the screen."
Yes,
So good
yes.
to have you, ma'am.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here with you and your audience.
Thank you so much. We'd like to hear and glean from you. We would like to hear your story. We know that with story you're able to connect with a lot of audience even better. So and that's why we often would bring our guests to share their story, and that's if one of the fastest way to impacting your work. So we like to hear from you how you commenced, how you started life, what worked well for you, how did you go through difficult moments, what was working for you, what prepared you to going into corporate America and impacting your work.
Oh, yes. So the story starts off crazy. I had all of the statistics and stereotypes stacked up against me. I'm a Black woman born in the 80s. There was a lot of things going on then. And the environment that I grew up in really wasn't conducive for success. And so as I looked around, I would often ask myself, there has to be more to life than just suffering and struggling and trying to survive. I always say there's three ways of life. You can survive, you can thrive, or you could be a victim. And I'm not anybody's victim. And I got tired of survival. So I said, how can I start to thrive? And I thought I just really needed to change my environment. So I joined the Navy because I'm from Michigan originally. I currently live in Las Vegas, and going to the Navy felt like it would take me so far from my current surroundings. But being in the Navy, it really taught me the importance of relationships, communication, and strategy, really. Because when you're protecting the free world, it isn't just like a willy-nilly job. You really have to have a mission, know where you're going, why you're going there, what you're going to do, and how you're going to get back home. So building strategies really became a part of my go-to in life. And so after I got out the Navy, I started going to college. And, being from a small town where a lot of my family didn't go to college, when I started going to college, I didn't know what I wanted to do. But luckily, I was good at math. So I was like, well, let me be an accountant. So I got an accounting degree. I got a job in accounting. I went there and I was like, okay, so this really isn't my tribe, accountants. Although I can think like them, we really weren't vibing out. I wanted to have more impact in the organization. I was hungry to have strategy and really drive the way the organization was going. And so I switched from accounting and did more general business. And I went and got a master's in organizational management and then an MBA. And I feel like those two degrees kind of set me up to understand how business really works. And I feel like I had a very successful career in corporate America because I found a way to marry my skill set and my hobby. So I've been gambling since I've been legal to gamble, and I've worked in analytics for, at the time, at least 10 years. And so I said, how can I take this skill set of analytics and the hobby of gambling and make those two work for me? So my job isn't boring, because sometimes data can get a little boring. And I ended up in Las Vegas, and I was the director of casino analytics for 15 casinos under MGM's umbrella. And that, my friend, was one of the funnest jobs that I had. And the only reason why I was successful in that business was because I took the time to make relationships with all the different stakeholders that I would be working with. And once I understood their needs and their values, I could then tailor solutions that would help them meet their goals, which was keeping their casinos fun and profitable. Now, about 2 years ago, I hung up my corporate hat and I said, you know what? I'm going to start my own business. I want to start a consulting company where I can share these strategies, insights, and recommendations with more companies than just one. I really wanted to help leaders fine tune their strategies so they can lead and succeed with confidence. Because I felt like there was a piece of confidence that was always missing in some of the leaders in corporate America. And now, for the last couple of years, I've been successfully running my my consulting company here and speaking and coaching all over the globe.
Awesome. Awesome. And that's a great one. Networking. And that's why, who are your tribe? Who are the people you support yourself with? What support system you are? And I love what you said, having the right set of people, having the right support system, because God has not created us to be alone, and that's why I said He places the solitary in families. There is need for you to be in a system, in a group, in a support system. I think you can't do it alone. And that's why it is said, woe to him that is alone in the day of trouble. Nobody will be there to help you. So when you're in a system, you have people to lift you up. You have people to, provide some advice, some guidance. So, some strategies like you spoke about. And, like your resume rightly said, you're a catalyst of collaboration,
Mm-hmm.
coming together, bringing people together. So it's important we understand the networking, understand the tribes, we understand the people that will plug in. And it's important you understand are there like-minded people like you. Finding out those would help you to know where to be. Because sometimes you find that you're in a wrong. There are three things that make people: the resources you allow inside of you, which could be through your phone, through your TV screens, through the book you read. The people
Mm-hmm.
who will speak into your life. Are they the right? Are they naysayers? Are they people that run you down? Then the environment you grow. If the environment you are or the support system you have around you and not the right support system, it'll bring you down. It's just a matter of time you will come down. So those three things are things you want to watch as you go on. Like Quay rightly said, having the right tribe and trying to help the tribe around you to become better than what they are. And having a notion like me, what I have is whoever comes across me, I want to leave them better than I met them, such that they keep looking for me. So that should be your goal, making a difference in the lives of people. Be out there to make a difference, and that's it. So I want to find out, whilst doing all this, you told me it was a bit hard. When you had difficult moments, how did you maneuver? What did you do to get over your difficult moments?
So I've had a lot of difficult moments, especially transitioning from corporate America to entrepreneurship. All I had was an LLC and a dream, and I was ready. Boy, I tell you, I just wanted to hit the ground running. And so facing these new challenges of becoming an entrepreneur, the one thing that I think that got me through it was my mindset, the attitude that I had, because I always believe in positive possibilities. You may be facing like the biggest challenge of your life, but if you can shift your perspective to see the positive possibilities that are available, then that will help you change the way you move. One of the challenges that I had when I first started my business was getting the clarity on the direction I wanted to move, the people I wanted to help, the products and services that I wanted to offer. And because I didn't have that clarity, the strategy that I was using wasn't as clear. It wasn't as concise. I wasn't making really smart moves. But once I got clear on those things, and it was like doors started opening. It was like, oh, this is what you want to do? Here's the path. Here's the path to success. And I always like to break down the word path into priorities, attitude, techniques, and habits. That path to success, that acronym, if you always hunker down on those four in challenging situations, like, what is my priority straight? Let me look at my attitude at this. Do I have the right talent or techniques to go to the next level? Do I have the right tools to go to the next level? And which one of my habits do I really need to shift? Because what got me here is not going to get me there.
Yeah,
The habits that the strategies, the tools that got me to level 5 aren't going to get me to level 6. Because on level 6, there's new rules that require new tools.
true.
And the number one tool that you can work on at every level is communication. Because one of our problems is that we believe that we all communicate the same, we all receive information the same way, we're all motivated the same way, but that's not true. People are different, but they're predictably different, like we like to say in disc.
True.
Yeah, so knowing how to communicate effectively, how to interact, empower, inspire, engage with the different type of personalities, that is key. So if you have the opportunity to ever take some type of assessment about your communication style, jump on that immediately so you can learn about yourself and then learn how to communicate effectively with others.
True, that's true. I think that's disc the disc.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, awesome. And that's why this book rings a bell. Everyone communicates, few connects. Because a lot of times we want to just pour out what we have in there, not minding the way people are receiving the message we are passing on. The moment you know what you're passing out, you also need to also assess, are they receiving it rightly? Because you could be communicating and they are not receiving. Just like you have the telephone. When you're speaking on the phone, the receiver end, are they getting the clear message of what you're trying to pass on? So if there's no clarity in your communication, then you are not communicating. Because
Right.
at that point, I said very many people are communicating, but very few are connecting. So you must find out first, am I communicating the right grammar, the right language? And that's why you rightly said, knowing the set of people you are meant for. Are you meant for those between 25 to 30? Are you meant for the most energetic set of people, early teenagers, and the young stars coming up from college? You need to know who your circle of audience is. The moment you know who your circle of audience is, then you know what grammar to use. Because we found out that, what we do with Facebook, they are probably into TikTok, Instagram. So once you understand their language, you can better address them. You can better communicate and connect with them. So understanding your audience, understanding the people you're meant for, would also help you to communicate rightly and would also help the other end for them to receive your message in the right manner.
Absolutely. I'm also a Maxwell coach, so we're sisters in arms there. And so John Maxwell always says that when you meet people or people in general, they're either going to be an elevator that takes you up or an elevator that takes you down. So when you meet people, you want to make sure that you are bringing some value to that interaction. And it is known widely that you will become the average of the 5 people you hang around most. So think about the 5 people that you see the most. You will become the average of them all. And so making sure that your network, you're surrounding your friends, who you kicking it with, you want to make sure that that's a solid group of people because that peer pressure, the collective pressure of that peer group will determine if you succeed or if you just stay neutral.
And that's true. What you said is true. Who are the people you speak with? Who are the people you hang around? Who are the people you stay with? So that matters. And because you want to be high up there, you don't want to be an average of the 5 people you meet, then you might want to reach out to great minds, people like, people who are greater than you, people who are better than you, people who you aspire to want to be like. So the moment you stay in such groups, you become like them and you can overtake them. But it is
Mhm.
said that when you stay with people who are less than you, you
Mm,
either you can go higher, you either become like them. Like you rightly said, you become an average of the 5 people you spend your time with. So you might want to check your circle of friends. Who are the people you hang around with? Who are the people you spend time with? Because they said they either make you or they mar you.
absolutely. And there's so many like free mastermind groups that you can join, free networking groups that meet up like after work and stuff with people who are really trying to grow in themselves, grow in their business, and just grow in the world. So the people are out there. And a lot of times people say, well, I can't find anybody that's like me or who's trying to think about the things. You're not trying hard enough. They're out there. I promise you. There are people who want to grow, see you win. Like as a mentor, if I run across somebody, I was a director in corporate America. So if I ran across an analyst or a manager who was showing leadership potential, they were showing that hunger, that drive, that ambition. I was like, how can I help you? What's next for you? What's on your goals? What challenges are you facing? What dreams have you had for a long time that you haven't achieved? Let's work through that, because I see the hunger, and you just need to polish it up a little bit, so you can roll smoothly.
Yeah, that's a great one. You spoke before now on the kind of mindset that you heart to heart, having a growth mindset or having a fixed mindset. A lot of
Mm,
times when we see things as being difficult, being unachievable, then we have a fixed mindset. There's really nothing you cannot do when you set your mind to do. And I remember this side in the Bible that talks about um, the Babel, the Tower of Babel. He
hmm.
said that people were one, they were in agreements, they were in sync. Meaning, the Bible says they were able to do what they want to do because they were single minded, they were in sync, they were in agreement. So find out the set of people you want to hang around. Once you're in agreement, you're in sync, such that you understand yourself, there's really nothing you cannot achieve. So
Mm.
it's often said the sky is your starting point because you're in agreement. Can two work together except they be agreed? Two captains cannot be in a boat if there's no agreements. There's going to be a lot of fights. There's going to be a lot of you know hot
Conflict.
blows. So and you don't want to. So you have to work in agreement with people. Yes, you sometimes might have to disagree to agree, but you must have a constructive disagreement. Not the kind of disagreement that is toxic and, could affect your relationship, could affect you as a person. But such constructive relationship or issues or challenges that you overcome and makes you better. There are two things that happens to a man. Challenges either leaves you better or leaves you bitter. So you
Yes.
decide which one you want to go with. Do you want to remain bitter or you want to remain better? And that's we become better when we learn from our mistakes.
Mm.
But when we give
Absolutely.
excuses and like it's not me, things are not working out, the economy is really bad, the people around me are tough, then those are the things you will get. You see what you want, you act the way you want your business to be. And there was a saying that I learned from fake it until it becomes real.
Mm,
Fake it. So why faking it before you know it? You're already riding on. You're
mm,
flying. Want
mm.
to say something?
Yes, yes. I believe that, you mentioned the Bible, and if we really think about it, we are created in the image of something so powerful. How could we be powerless?
No.
Like, think about it. We have so much power in us. We just have to kind of let it out. The layers of life kind of get on us, and it traps our power in us because life is so stressful and things are so hard.
Yeah.
But what if we told ourselves something else? Because my most favorite quote by Earl Nightingale is, the attitude that we give life is the attitude life will give us back. So
True.
if we live a life expecting good things, expecting greatness to happen, we almost put a lens of goodness on over everything else because we can find the good in everything. We see that silver lining. And we just have to
True.
remember that no matter how hard things get, no matter how tough things are, no matter how much everybody around us is tripping, there's a positive outcome in there. We just have to be willing to find it. Are we willing to find the positive possibility? If you're willing to find, if you're willing to look for it, you will find it because we find what we seek.
Yeah. What you don't seek for, you don't find. And that's why I said seek and you will find. Yeah. And if you don't search it out, you won't find anything. So let's go out there, seek and look out for the best. Make excuses for people, make excuses. Don't condemn. Oh, he didn't do this, he didn't do that, he didn't pick my call. I think maybe I'm a pain on his neck or something. But make excuses for people. When people don't respond to you the way they ought to, just make excuses for them. See good about everything in life, and good will surely come your way. But when you make excuses, you'll find that you don't get hot. You're just okay, you're moving. But when you don't make excuses, everything everyone does becomes an offense. And
Mhm.
what to name that has offense. You're not able to see right because everything you see is offense. Everything you see, oh, I'm not being treated well, they're not acting well towards me. And what you see is what you become.
Yeah, absolutely. One of my coaches told me, Quay, excuses are just reasons. You can't have reasons and results. You
No, they
can't
don't go
have
together.
both. You know what I mean?
Oh, you can't have reasons. And what did you say?
You can't have reasons and results. You either get the result or you keep trying, but you don't come up with these reasons or excuses on why it didn't happen. That, my friend, is a waste of energy. That is a waste of brain power. Why waste time thinking about an excuse when you could be thinking about a solution?
True. And that's true. You can have both together. So you can be art and code at the same time. You're either code or heart. So
Pick
you've
a
got to
struggle.
choose one. There's no middle ground. Like you rightly said, there can be excuses and be result. So you either go for excuses or reasons why you're not making it, or you go for result. You look at the best in everything that you do, and that's true. That's true.
Mhm.
That's great. Great nuggets. Yeah, I also want to find out from you when you had great moments. How did you celebrate? Like right now, you know that motivation keeps you going, but discipline is what keeps you growing. So having the right motivation to wake up every morning and to doing things. Can you just tell us your story around that?
I am big on celebrating. I believe in, I probably celebrate a little bit too much. But I like to be proud of myself. I like to see that my efforts are paying off. And once my efforts start paying off, I'm going to celebrate so I can plant that kind of pattern in my life. You do something good, there's a reward. You do something else good, there's a bigger reward. Like right now, I live in Las Vegas. I only used to vacation in Las Vegas on my birthday. But one day I woke up and said, you know what? I want vacation in my backyard. I don't want to leave the next time that I come. I
Oh
was
my
on the phone
God.
with my mom, and I'm like, well, Mom, I'm leaving Las Vegas, going back to Michigan. And she says, well, love, it's time for you to come back to reality. And it almost stopped my heart. I said, wait a minute. Why isn't this my reality? If this is my happy place and where I go for refuge, why not just stay in the happy place? Why not just stay in the refuge? Why not just
Awesome.
have vacation in my backyard? And so that's what today
Awesome.
is.
That's a great one. Yeah. Why not remain in the place where you find fun when everything
Yeah,
is working for you? Why go and only go once a year? That's when you go only once a year when it's your birthday. So why don't you make it a lifetime and a lifelong experience? Awesome.
instead of coming to Las Vegas and being inspired by the lights and the mountains and the glitz and the glamour once a year, I can get in my car and go get that every day. So that
Awesome.
I planted inspiration in my backyard. I can look out my window and see the Las Vegas Strip, see the lights, see the mountains, and just be like, you know what? Life is big, and I have a spot in there somewhere. Let me go claim my spot.
Go claim your spot. That's a great one. I'm claiming mine.
Yes, girl, claim your spot. I'm gonna write that down. That was good.
That's a great one. Well, I would probably say, what has this experience been so far in doing running your business? I know that sometimes it could be tough. Sometimes you could feel like, oh, I want to throw in the towel. I want to go back to corporate America. Have you ever felt like, oh my God, I'm done. I want to go back to paid employments?
Being an entrepreneur is the hardest thing I have ever done in my life. And I mean, I've served in the military. I have 4 degrees and about 19 certifications. But being an entrepreneur, running my own business, holding myself accountable is the hardest thing I have ever done in my life. I have about 50 coaching clients that I can hold accountable to the T. But when it comes to me, that was something different. And I really had to build some structure around holding myself accountable. and like really understanding why building this business is the best option for me and my future. Because with me, I want to retire my mom. I want to retire my mom so bad. And so having financial freedom and being able to provide a service that provides so much impact that I'm now financially free to retire my mom, myself and my mother. Like, just think about the impact that I am delivering to have that type of reward. Like, then that makes me feel like I'm doing what I was put on this earth to do, to inspire people, to uplift them, to remind them of how much power they have in them
In
under the
them,
lens
yeah.
of life. Yes. So it's very hard to be an entrepreneur. What keeps me going? What keeps me from not going to get a job in corporate America that I could easily get, earn six figures, corner office, the whole 9 yards? Like, I could just walk into that tomorrow. But what stops me is my purpose. It is really my purpose to help people feel better about themselves, about their lives, about their strengths, about their talent, about their uniqueness. I feel like I'm a very unique individual, and I use that to my advantage. It is a chosen advantage. I want to help people build their chosen advantage. And it all starts with their strengths. Whatever you're naturally good at,
That's
let's
just,
build on it.
yeah,
Like, that's your uniqueness. Let's build on that and see what we can turn that into. Let's explore the possibilities.
yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome. Knowing what your passions are, what are your strengths, what do you love to do, that even when you're sleeping, even without no pay, no pecs, you would do it happily. You need to know your strengths. You need to know what am I created to do? What have I been called to do? And in knowing your purpose, you stay fulfilled even when things are falling apart. You are happy. You have the energy within you to go on. So knowing what your strengths are, knowing what your passions are, and going after it is great. A lot of times I found that people don't go after their passion because there's a lot of bills to be paid in America. And so, in order for them to live at par, they get to do jobs they don't love to do, but just because of the money that comes. So, what would you advise such people? Would you tell them to leave and go for their passion, or stay within the corporate America to get money? Because I know nobody becomes a billionaire or a millionaire working for somebody else. So,
Right.
what would be your advice to such people?
So this is tricky because everyone's situation is different, you
Sure,
know? And I would say if you got to pay your bills, pay your bills. You know what I mean? We're going to pay the bills first, take care of our families first.
that's
But the
true.
thing is, it is highly likely that there's a job in corporate America where you can marry your strengths and your skill set, where you can find that passion. Now, it may not be absolutely right, but I would challenge you to start looking for that if you want to stay in a corporate zone, because there's nothing wrong with being in corporate America. You may not make $1 billion, but you can have $1 billion impact. I've made hundreds of millions of dollars for the casinos that I've serviced, not for myself yet, but for them. So I know it's possible, though. That shows me the possibility. So if you want to stay in corporate America and get the guaranteed check, find a different role that aligns with your passion. And if you don't find it, create it. Get real strategic and start doing things that are aligned with that role. And like, you know what? It would be awesome if we had a director of XYZ. I could vision it out, pitch it to someone. There's entrepreneurship in every corporate organization. Remember that. Now, on the second hand, if you're like, you know what? I'm trying to transition from corporate America into entrepreneurship, start building the foundation blocks now. Figure out who you want to talk to, what problem you're solving specifically for them, how you're going to solve that problem. How would you market this problem to them? Like, start doing that foundational research and start setting up the company. Get the LLC, get the EIN, get the business bank accounts. Start getting some tenure on your company, because then you can start getting some funding business funding to grow and scale your business. But you won't be going broke or getting behind on your credit card bills because you're still working in corporate America. But the trick with that is to be comfortable with the time allocation. Because, boy, you're going to be giving them 40 hours a week to that corporate job and then like 10 hours a week to your business. And but your business make you so happy and excited. You're like, I don't want to, that allocation of time not right. Timing is everything. Stay with the allocation of time until it proves to you it's no longer working. When you get your first client, your second client, your third client. So when you got more clients or the income you're getting from your clients can replace that monthly income from corporate America, then you start to transition. And don't be transitioning all indignant either. I got my business is profitable, so I don't need this job. We're not going to do that. We don't burn bridges. We're just going to say, you know what? I have an opportunity to impact more lives, to have a stronger impact, to have more significance in the world.
True.
And when you say that to your boss, they're gonna be like, well, dang, okay, they don't want to support you. Well, how can I support you? It's not like you're burning bridges. You never know, that old boss may become a future client
True.
because
You said it.
that bridge. Yes.
Well,
So,
that's a great one. That's a great one you just said. For everyone and anyone who wants to leave their corporate organization, wherever they're working, you don't have to burn bridges. That's true. Because you never can tell because relationship is key. Like I rightly would tell people, I said, everything you're called to be is in the relationship. So the key to transformational relationship or becoming all you're called to be is in the relationship you keep. So you want to keep relationships right. You don't want to burn bridges. And you never know, like having the right answer for them. Not burning bridges, letting them know the reason why you want to pull out is because you want to be of significance to what you're called to do, to live in purpose. There is no boss, no employer that will not be happy to hear that, oh my God, you've discovered yourself and will be ready and happy to let you go in great ovation rather than having, enmity or becoming enemies because you have to leave because they want to keep you as much as possible. If you're a good asset for the company, they want to keep you.
mm-hmm,
But once they hear from you that you want to be of significance to your world at large, they are proud of you because they know that, oh, Chipa Shoye, I think she got all this information or got all this strength, maybe from here. But whilst we work, it's just for us to get to discover ourselves the more. Like Quay rightly said, find out who you're called to be, find out who you're called to address, find out who are the people you need to reach out to. So whilst you are in the corporate America, you're already building your business alongside and give some time allocation. Time is everything. Time is even much more than and stronger than the money currency. So to me, I'll tell you, having the money and the time currency, time you can never buy back, time lost can never be gotten, but money lost can be gotten back. So you might want to weigh the options, skill. How much time do I give to my business? And you must be disciplined when it comes to business time, giving the right time to your business. And as things improve, you can start increasing the time from 2 hours to 3 hours, before you know it, 5 hours. And you find that, oh my God, this business, this passion is giving me more money than my corporate job. Then it's time for you to transition.
right. And you
Great
got to give
moment.
yourself grace. You know what I mean? Because I think it's Tony Robbins that says we think we can do more in 1 year than we can actually do in 10. And like when I started my business, I was so excited. Like I said, LLC in the dream, we're going to be a millionaire. And it was like I needed more realistic expectations around my business growth. I had to do some research. The research says that most businesses fail before the first 2 years. And
Yeah.
if you make it past 2 years, they barely make it to 5. So when my business hit 2 years, girl, I had a party. I mean, a cake and everything, candle, everything, because I wanted to celebrate that big milestone. But that first year was hard. That first year was the hardest thing that I had ever done. But I said, I know that I can do this. I know that nothing was wasted through the 20 years of the military and college and corporate America. Nothing was wasted. Everything that I learned can now be leveraged in my business. Let me
Sure.
just figure out where it goes. Let me figure out where it goes.
True. What we go through in life, It's for something greater. God allows us to go through those things because he has a better plan. So whilst you go through your troubles, whilst you go through your challenges, it's not time for you to cry. And it's not time for you to chicken out or throw in the towel, but time to ask God, what is in it for me to learn? There's always a learning curve. And that's what John Maxwell will often say, keep success and failure together, for it keeps you resilient. And you learn more in your failures than you would learn from your success. So learn all you need to learn when things are not going fine. And you find that knowing your T's and dotting your I's and everything, crossing your T's would help you to know, oh, this is what I've been called to do, and this is my part, and this is how I can go through it. And I want to say thank you. It's been a great session for me. But before we move into questions and answer, I will shoot one of our commercials so I can use the opportunity to check if there are all the comments.
Are you thinking of how to publish your book on Amazon or how to get your published book to become an Amazon bestseller book? Dip Insight Books is the perfect in-between solution in transforming your ideas into a book. We can help you with all the complicated parts of publishing, such as process TO transformation. What we do: full manuscript evaluation, receive quality assurance edit, full copy edit and final proofread to remove spelling and grammar mistakes, oversee your cover design, create your interior layout, publish and distribute your book, lock down your marketing strategy. Ghostwriting, where there is no manuscript. Our goal is to help you publish your book promptly. Contact us today at 404-740-9091. Email us at info@dipinsightworld.com. To start the submission process, check us out at www.books.dipinsightworld.com and submit your details. You can visit our Facebook page at Dip Insight World.
Awesome. Welcome back. Yeah, I think Deborah dropped a message, said great nugget. I would have to go back to watch it again. And Emmanuel said, oh my God, this is just the words I want. This is what I've been looking up for. So I think we on the right part. And before we call it a day, I want to ask, the relationship God has placed in your heart, how have you managed them? What's your focus about building strong relationship as per building business?
When it comes to relationships, is how can I add value to you? How can I help? How can I be there for you? You know, who relationships are normally a two-way street, but we're both giving 100% in that relationship. Now things are showing up as 200%. So always just see what you can give. What can you offer? How can you show up and help in that relationship? Because the saying says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go
Go
with
with a
others.
team.
Yes.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Because if you want to go far in life, you have to go with the right people. You have to go with the right people. You don't want to go, yes, some people are in a hurry. Oh, I want to do it very fast. But sometimes you waste a lot of time. But when you are with a team, you can leverage on their ideas, leverage on their skills, leverage on their strengths, so many things to gain. So, and that oftentimes it's great to go with a team. I want to say thank you for your time. I want to appreciate you. Before we call it a day, a word will be your wrapping statement. What word would you want to leave with the audience before we call it a day?
As my parting statement, I would like to say, guys, we always say we learn from our mistakes. So don't be afraid to make them.
And that's true. I think I also learned that mistake is another way of doing things. So
Yes.
once we know that, rightly, you would embrace your mistake.
Right. And we
Thank you
always
so
learn
much.
from them.
Yeah, we do. We learn from them. I want to thank our viewers. Thank you for being on this show. Thank you for your support. I also want to thank our guest for making a time out of a busy schedule. She's an entrepreneur of over 2 years and she's still growing. And we'd like to hear from you again and again and again how what's working out for you. Maybe we would invite you again sometime the early quarters of the year, just to learn from you how things are moving with you. And so we can also glean and learn from you and become better versions of ourselves. So I want to say thank you so much. Do have a blessed evening. Until our next episode, let's all go out there dare to make a difference in our world. If we all go out to making a difference in our world, the world itself will be a better place to live. Thank you so much, Quay. And I don't want to let you go, but we need to call it a day. Bye, everyone.
I will be in touch. Bye.